Welcome to another episode of The People's Mic. I am Jimmy Peoples. I like sitting tall, man. It makes me feel like
you're like David. You're like the Letterman.
Yeah, I like it. I think we're going high from now on.
All right.
And I need to look down on my minions. I am Jimmy Peoples. Introduce yourself.
Tom DeSillis.
Yeah.
And Bobby Massey.
Bobby Massey. Slide 1 inch closer to me. Right there.
Gotcha.
Close in it. How you doing? Tell them, give me your origin story. They've seen him before.
Yeah.
The nobody.
Well, I come down to the city. I live upstate.
Yeah.
I live like 60 miles, Hudson Valley.
Okay.
And I do a show up there on Saturday nights. And
Call
I
it
come
the
down
White
here.
Hood. White Hood.
The White Hood.
White-
Not necessarily,
It's
man.
not?
Man.
Really?
I grew up in Newburgh. I went
Nice.
to school in Newburgh. Newburgh is not.
Black people there? What?
It's rough.
What?
It's rough, dude. It's in the top 5 of the most violent crime cities in the country.
Shut the fuck
Every
up.
year, swear
Newburgh?
to God, you got to Google Newburgh.
It's Harden.
Really?
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
And what they did for the kids that grew up in the suburbs like me, they bust us in for school. So so they enlarged the school district and they brought all the suburban kids all
To mix it in.
to
we got
mix
those
it in.
white people in
Yeah.
there.
Well, for the money, for the tax money.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we're paying the taxes,
Right.
and they're like, my parents are like, okay, you're 11, so this is life.
You're gonna see some shit. Man.
Get on the bus.
They're gonna prepare you for it. Here's the thing, son.
Yeah.
Keep your head down. Don't make direct eye contact.
Wow.
Just gym class is a horror show for a guy like that.
And how long you been doing comedy?
About almost 8 years.
8 years in.
Yeah, man.
And you started in New York?
Started in New York, did for about 4 years, did about 3 years in Vegas,
Okay,
and
nice.
now I'm back in New York.
How was that? How was Vegas?
Vegas is awesome.
Yeah, Danette. You jumping on, you late bastard. You grab a chair. Grab it. Let's make some room.
All right.
We're gonna slide just to your
left
Because
a
my
little
son
bit.
is right. He's like, Mom,
Which
you're never
way?
on
Yep,
time.
slide here. Come to me. Good. Just get
All
as
right.
close as possible.
It's like, Mom, you're never on time. I'm like, yeah.
Switch seats with her.
Yeah, that's fine.
I want
Go ahead.
to.
No.
I'd rather sit next to
No,
you.
sit here, right here. No, yep. Right here.
How you doing?
Did you guys already start
Good.
this?
No, yeah, we starting. You're in. You're in. Take a chair, go
Yeah.
get set up. Good. Hi. Introduce yourself
Hello,
while
hi,
you're
I'm Danette
talking.
Mark.
Danette
Stand-up
Mark.
comedian
This is
from Chicago.
Bobby.
How you doing? Nice to meet you.
Bobby?
Yeah,
Yep.
Bobby.
That's
Bobby
Tom.
and Tom?
What's up? How's it
Are
going?
you on
Danette?
camera, Tom? Got you, Tom.
Yeah, I'm in there.
No, you're good. You're good. How you been? Nice seeing you in a minute. Yeah?
Wow.
Yeah, I'll let you get situated.
Yeah. I'm just like, the bus took like 30 minutes. I did a D14, whatever that is.
Yeah.
You should have just walked.
Never
over.
taken a bus in New York.
I take the
no.
bus when I feel like sightseeing. Like, I know.
That'll be
If I
my
know
thing
I'm
one
just
day.
hanging, I was like, I got
Yeah,
shit to do.
a lot of
Let's take the
time to
bus.
kill.
You just pay to get on.
Yeah, you
and
just
then
pay.
that's it.
I don't even pay. I get on in the back.
No one runs to the bus.
Wow.
Everybody
That's
runs.
kind of not anymore.
No, they run to the train.
Yeah,
not
they run to
bus.
the train. They run to the train.
Everybody's
They do,
like,
yeah, the
they're
train.
like, damn.
I always take trains and walk. I'll just take the bus today and see how it goes.
No, it was adorable. It's like, you just seeing
No,
shit.
I'm just upset that my son voices in my
Never.
head going, Mom, you're always late. I'm like, shut up. It haunts me with that truth.
Wow.
So anyways, yeah, good to see you, Jimmy.
Good to see you. Glad you're back. How long are you here for?
I'm here till Monday.
Nice. You gonna hang out with us?
Yeah, I'm gonna hang out with
What's
you.
today? Thursday?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna hang out with you for a bit. I'm gonna go to another mic after this.
Yeah. This. Tell me about. He's from Vegas.
Well,
In Vegas,
I
huh?
lived there for
He
2
lived
years.
in
Yeah, I
Vegas.
lived in Vegas. Yeah, no, I'm from New York.
Yeah.
But
Trying
Vegas
to
is
do it.
cool, man. Vegas is the comedy scene is it's like a smaller version of New York. There's the same headaches, the same drama, the same BS with the open mics.
Yeah.
I like your vibe because most people at open mics don't care. They just want to fill the seats and they're that coming up next and they don't even
Yeah, and that's
I always like putting on a show. I like the
Absolutely.
show. I like because it's
Absolutely.
practice.
Yeah, everything.
If you're going to get a real room, you got to be practicing as if you're in a real room the whole time.
Absolutely.
It's just like batting
Right.
practice. It's why the Yankees have batting practice at Yankee Stadium. It's to get you in that mindset. And Vegas is good for the big rooms, the open mic scene and the local scene. You have to work your way to where you get booked outside of town.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the goal is to leave to come back.
Yeah, exactly. It's to live, and a lot of big name headliners live there but don't perform there.
Yeah.
Like Brian Regan lives
Yeah,
out
yeah,
there.
yeah.
A lot of guys live out there, and they don't perform. And they very rarely go up into a spot.
Wow.
So yeah, but it's cool because you see a lot of headliners, and people are more approachable in Vegas. You could see like Brad Garrett or like some big name guys walking around, and you can approach them in Vegas. In New York, like in the city, you can't like if you see Brad Garrett at a deli, he doesn't want to talk to you in New York. But if you see him at the MGM in Vegas, he's totally approachable.
Wow.
And they just opened up a comedy cellar at the Rio.
Yeah.
Like the year, like literally 3 months after I moved, they opened up this awesome club room out there because they have like three or four really good clubs out there. So, but they're all traveling. No one is local.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's good, man. It's a good experience, but it's not where you develop. You go there to get more stage time, but it's not where you develop your craft.
No,
you got to come.
This is the farm.
This place and LA are the only places you can go to really
we talk about
grind
this
it.
all the time, man. LA is the factory. This is the farm.
So why do you say
this
that?
is the farm. That's right.
This is
That's
where
right.
you
So why do
farm
you
it.
say
LA
it's
is
LA
where
or
you
New York?
package it.
You don't think it's Chicago? Sorry.
No.
You don't think
Oh,
you
you
can grind
saw me?
out?
Yeah,
You can
tell
grind
me.
out in Chicago?
Tell
Maybe I was a little presumptuous not saying
What-
Chicago. I've never been there. But
What do you mean? Because you come here, you have a lot more mics to do. Is that
you
what
got a
you're
lot more.
saying?
Well, it's also
Just
the
reps.
The reps. It's the area. It's the energy. It's the culture. It's everything that just develops your creative nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
And-
good.
But you live in an area like Las Vegas, they rip it down, they rebuild it, they rip it down again in 10 years, they rebuild it.
Yeah.
There's only a couple small spots that are like legendary that they've kept. And you can't, and if you haven't been there a long time, you don't get that feeling of home, you don't get that feeling of like closeness.
Yeah.
Everything is big, everything's huge.
I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
I'm all
apartments.
about
I
that.
missed the apartment. The
Really?
apartment was $1,200 a month, and I had like almost
So good.
1,000 square
So good.
feet
Oh,
with a
yeah.
gated
Wow,
community, a
really?
pool,
Oh,
a
yeah.
jacuzzi,
Yeah.
a gym, all included. I mean, yeah.
Way more for your money.
I just
Yeah.
saw online. I think New York is the most. Again, this year was the most moved out of state in the U.S.
Like everything's shutting down. Like
Yeah.
the signs going up, or retail,
It's-
police. Where does Chicago fit in building your comedy career? I've never been to Chicago.
Well, okay, comedy in Chicago is a little bit. It's a bunch of different types of comedy in Chicago.
Yeah.
So you have the Improv, which is the Second City,
Second City, yeah.
and then you have we have a lot of that improv comedy going on, comedy shows, and also storytelling
Yeah.
scene there, and also stand up. Stand up is kind of like smaller version of here. You have some rooms that are just like what do you call it?
Everything's a smaller
You just-
version.
Well, you got,
Yeah,
you
I
got,
guess
you got,
it is. Well,
you
not
got-
everything.
you got-
Where's the bigger version in New York?
We got
Oh,
Zany, you got
Tokyo?
Zanies. You got Zanies there. You got.
We
a
have
few
Zanies, all those clubs.
Yeah,
You have
the
Laugh
clubs, yeah.
Factory, Zanies.
Factory,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't really know much about the scene. I'm just kind of, I'm not really on that scene. I'm just kind of, I was bar scene.
Okay.
So I'm doing a lot of bars and coffee
Yeah.
shops because I'm a storyteller, comedian,
Yeah.
long form. So when I come to New York, it's hard because 5 minutes, everyone here's trying to get like a tight 5. Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not trying to get a tight
Or-
5. I'm just trying to make an album.
Yeah, most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm a little different.
Most people
Yeah.
working at 5
You know?
to get to TV, and then
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
my goal's not
get
TV.
those
My
spots.
goal is
Yeah.
not
That's
that.
what I like.
Right.
So when I go here in New York, I noticed I was reading online too about the open mics.
Mhm.
Like I went to one last night, Stand Up New York.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it was brutal. They're just like staring at you, like
Oh yeah.
Stand up New York
Stand Up New York
on
is a rough
a
one.
Wednesday.
they're like they leave.
It's rough.
It's like
The 5
Wednesday.
o'clock?
They leave. Yeah, the 5 o'clock. They leave, or they sit there. The ones that are sitting there are
Yeah.
kind of like.
When I first
like-
started, there was like 75 comics that showed up one day, and it was like you were literally lined up. Like I'm like, really? There was like people left.
Stand
People
up New
left.
York?
cut it
People
off.
left. People
Stand up
left.
New York?
Yeah.
Really,
They allowed.
really capitalistic.
Wasn't that many?
They
No,
allowed like
Cap it.
50. They allowed 50.
At Stand up New
50?
York. At Stand Up
And
New York.
they went from 5 o'clock. This is like 7 years ago.
Oh, okay,
They went from
okay.
5
There's less
p.m.
mics. Okay.
Jesus.
They went from
7
5
years ago.
p.m. to
Yeah, like-
5 to 8. They had to clear the room for the
Wow.
8 o'clock
Yeah,
show,
yeah, yeah.
and it was like you were just sitting there for
Problem.
like 2 hours and 45 minutes.
How was
waiting
the
to go
host?
on. It was. I don't even remember,
No,
man.
no,
It's
fuck that.
exactly.
Fuck that.
I lost track of time. You know,
Like
How
like
would
this.
you, when you just go? Why would you
Yeah.
wait?
because I was new. I was new to it.
yeah,
I was like, and this
yeah.
was a major comedy club stage.
Yeah.
Oh,
Where I was
yeah.
like, I'm gonna get great
It's a
Facebook
feeling.
profile pictures here. You know that
Yeah,
kind of
right,
bullshit.
right.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was
Like,
fun.
oh yeah, I can't wait. Well, in the beginning, you just want when you think about coming into the city, you think of the big rooms.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna get on Caroline's. I'm gonna get Gotham. I'm gonna get on the Cellar.
Like, how do you get on those routes? You have to.
It's money and who you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mostly
I know
networking.
people who
It's
get on those-
networking. It's
get on
networking.
those
It's
shows.
networking.
You probably
Networking,
yeah.
yeah.
You probably
Who
it's
you
probably
know.
easier to get at a club at a state.
It is. It
I was
is.
gonna
Yeah.
say that. That's the one thing. Like
Because
you don't want
you're
to
using
just
your New York credit.
You don't
say,
wanna-
hey, I'm a New York
But
comic.
you don't want to
Yeah.
settle down. You don't want to just settle down here. And I feel like some people, because you can get caught up in the scene and just like, I see people who I feel like they're just doing New York comedy to New York people.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you take that anywhere else, you don't realize like that doesn't translate everywhere.
There's a lot of people who are
you get that on Long Island too.
as being
like,
open micers.
I'm on
they just want to
$4.95 and this and that, but like, no one knows what that means.
A lot of inside jokes.
Yeah, you don't want to just stick to that.
Yeah,
That was the thing I saw early on.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of Long Island comics just doing Long Island comedy. I'm like, well, where are you going to take that?
Yeah.
You can't even go,
You got to bring them out. That's why I say you got to diversify.
Yeah.
There's a show up in,
that's why I like doing both.
There's a show up in Saugerties, New York, which is even further north, and the guy starts off, "Go, what's up, Saugerties?" And I'm like, there's like 80 people here in the whole town.
That's a little
yeah. I'm like, all right, get your head out of that. Get your head out of that. You just got to think bigger. Well, in Vegas, you perform for the tourists. Mm-hmm. If you get a real, and I've done a few of the showrooms where you get nothing but tourists, and they don't even know how to laugh at a show. They're and then they'll come up to you afterwards.
And that's some of the clubs too here.
Yeah, you get a lot of tourists.
I got a development spot at Broadway on a Monday night. They were like all from Texas. They don't know because it's like
if you talk really fast like me, then they don't understand you.
Yeah.
They're from other places.
Yep.
And so I'm like, my goal is to slow it down a little.
Exactly.
Of course, you have to hone your timing and all that. I'm just having fun. Like, fun developing. My philosophy is get so good they can't ignore you.
Exactly.
Like, people are, I already have people coming up to me after shows saying, you're really good, you're really good, you're really good, you're really good. That's all I need is to know, I know I'm good. I can tell by their laughter.
It doesn't matter what room you're in. If you're funny,
you bring your energy.
You're gonna elevate the show.
You bring the energy.
Yeah, and people remember the person that elevated the room. They're not gonna remember the guy that. Well, you do
right,
remember the guy that crashed the room.
Yeah,
like
walk the room. It's like the guy that made you leave.
The guy that made everybody stand up and walk out.
I had a weird. Last month was a crazy month. I had like a ton of shows. I did like 6 shows in the month, and
adorable.
I did like whatever, like real shows. I'm doing mics and stuff, but like this month I've only been doing this like 3.5 years.
Absolutely.
But so it's like February 2nd, I did a theater show, 150 people, crushed.
Yeah.
Then another theater show was like probably like 80 people, like did pretty well. And then I did one coffee shop, went well. Another coffee shop, and bombed harder than I ever bombed. But like one of those bombs where you're sitting there you're sitting there.
But that's the best
I
part.
just don't even.
I
don't even know what happened right there.
Yeah.
And then
you don't want to live
literally the day after that, did another show, went fine, did pretty well, and then that Saturday I did another show and it went well. I was like, God, it sits with you.
That's what I felt like stand up in New York yesterday. Oh God, I haven't been really long time.
I didn't get my first laugh until like 4 minutes in. And I was like,
I take in all of that. I love that. It's not the same.
Well, it's about
you love hurting. You like pain.
Yeah,
you got to sit there.
It's weird
because it teaches you to take the best part.
You got to sit there and be like, all right, well, what I do wrong?
They say people are gambling because they like the loss, not because they like the win. Yeah. They love that psychological pain.
Yeah, like
I was laughing at myself on the inside.
They're losing everything is what they love.
Yeah, they're hooked on it.
It's like because they like the low.
Yeah. How weird is it?
Because when you have a little bit of a win, when you have that next set that goes well, you're like you have a comparison of a 0 to a 7, and you're like, wow.
I videotaped the set I had after that, and I taped it, and then like I could see myself like, all right, I told the joke, and then I got the laugh. I was like, oh God. Like, because I was like, I don't know if I could go through that again. There's
nothing worse than seeing like anybody do a set and they're just eating it the whole time, and then they get the laugh when they say, "Well, I'm done."
I've had
and
better
then they
sets
get the laugh on saying, "Well, I'm done," and then us cynical asshole comedians are like, "Yes, you are. You're done for now."
I've had better sets at open mics than I did.
So do you guys? I read that the comedians want to watch other people fail because they want to be the best comedian in the room.
I don't buy that.
I don't buy that because I never do that.
No,
here's what I do.
It's competitive.
Here's what I do when I see a comedian bomb. I'm like, please say something funny. Please, I'm beside him like, come on, I want to laugh at you. I want to laugh.
If I see a comedian bomb, because I know the energy changes. Because I'll give him. I hate calling it a sympathy laugh.
Yeah. Right.
But the audience is not sure whether or not they can laugh or not sometimes. So if the comedians laugh, you change the energy of the room, and then you change the confidence of that comedian, kind of.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, ha, and you can feel the energy kind of change, like sending ripples in the way.
I'll
do that.
In the beginning, when I started, I was like, I don't even care. Like, I would still rather, if you gave me the choice, would you rather go after someone who just bombed or just destroyed? I picked the person who destroyed.
Right, exactly.
Because at least even if I'm not as good as them,
You know
they'll
how to do that, Steve? You know how to do that, Tom?
What's up?
Press go. Press resume. The left. What does that say?
Yeah.
Record.
Is that right?
There you go.
Okay.
Looks like it's going.
Nah, it's still
Because
fuck it.
no, that wasn't it.
Nope. Don't worry about it. Is it recording?
It's not
Hit
recording.
record.
going?
Just hit the red button.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Nah, let me see.
it's like
You told me which button to hit. I just hit what you told me to hit. Can you go back to the other one and resume? Okay, go.
all right. Saved it. It's like I show my kids.
I like how you're gonna edit it. You were sitting a minute ago, now you're up.
Yep. No, it's good. It's fine. This is live. Whatever.
Well,
I'm trying to
yeah,
get
because
to
then,
that
like,
thing.
at the very least, if you're not as good as the person before you, you'll still carry that energy.
Yeah.
Somewhat. But
and it also makes you want to. You want to continue it.
Mm-hmm.
So like, there's been times like the first few shows I did in Vegas when I was just visiting. And they would say, like you said, the New York credit. Oh, this guy's from New York, and I'm like, I'm not even from the city. And I'm like, this guy's from New York.
It's just the energy of it. It's like,
Yeah.
New York, because they're not doing shit.
But then there's guys doing like 8, 9 years, 10 years, and they're destroying this room. And I did and I love doing the rooms where it was all black. I love doing the all black rooms. I loved it.
Never done
Because, dude, it is like one of the best audiences, especially being like an Italian white guy, coming out and out to the show.
Yeah.
And then you see guy crush it, and then like it elevated my performance, not my words, but just how I did it, and my energy was just like the adrenaline made me. And then
I think it's hit or miss with the black rooms for me. Because it depends on what I don't know how to.
What you talk about? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like sometimes I just go. I done the rooms. I've done really well. Like and then sometimes I do it. It's maybe the way I bring it, or I have nothing relatable because I'm just talking about my kids. Like I'm like just a single parent with 2 kids and 3 cats. It's my life. So I'm talking about my real life. Yeah. And if it's not relatable, other people's they're like, oh yeah, whatever. They don't really care. Or sometimes I notice in black rooms they won't want to laugh at me. They're holding back the laughs. Like I don't know why are they doing that.
But you gotta earn it.
You gotta earn it. I was gonna say they're no bullshit.
Yeah,
you can see them wanting to laugh, but they're not. They're like laughing a little, but they won't let it go. They won't release the laughter.
You know what's funny is actually I did one room one time that was like half black, half white. And what I found the funniest is that any like somewhat racial joke I made, only the black people laughed. And it's so funny because you see all the white people, their assholes clench, and they're like, and then I'm like, guys, they left. Yeah. That means you can. I took the risk, not you. The
rest of them were like, you were going to kill him outside.
Fucking kill you.
He's dead. I never say anything like horribly offensive. It's just like,
when it's on the line.
You play a little bit, and then they laugh about it.
You know what, though? I think it was the circumstances because I was they had the only performers they had in that show were these like drag queen type people. Mm-hmm. So I was like the bait dog, so they can rip me apart. They were instructed not to laugh, I think. Like, oh, don't laugh. And they're like laughing through their noses, like spitting out their beer at me, laughing, but trying not to. That's so like, why? Then I realized I was the bait dog, and the big queen comes out. And I'm like, oh, shit. Then if I would have known that, I would have just fucked around with them. Why would I waste my time doing a real performance?
I think when you go in a room and you feel that you feel like there's that adversarial feel.
Back.
In retrospect, I'm like, fuck you.
You got to start.
I think now you're racist. No, just kidding. Fucking black people will laugh about shows. You don't get it.
It wasn't because they were black. It was because I couldn't figure it out. You know,
wear Jimmy's hat. That's what we'll say.
I'm naive. I'm not like you. You have your identity. I'm Italian. I'm just some white.
That's my.
Give her a people's mic.
I'm a guy from whatever. Like I'm from. I gotta handle this because I have these certain qualities or characteristics of a certain.
Give her a people's mic.
I don't need that. I don't want you to identify with any kind of label. I hate it. That's not be me. And wherever I am is that I am. It's like so. I go on stage. I have to explain.
But if you get in a room where it's like you walk in and you're on an all black lineup and you're in the like a bad side of town, right? You got to go in there and you got to introduce yourself and you got to own who you are immediately. And then once you do that, they'll buy it. Because if you just go up there trying to do your set, they're thinking like, does this person even know where they're at? And I think that's what'll probably help that.
Oh yeah, okay, thanks.
I don't think it maybe not. Oh yeah, that's it.
Okay.
That's it. I'll figure it out.
From the Italian guy.
No, I just say like I just feel like people identify with you. You said you're Italian, did you not? So
Oh no,
like,
I did, but
I don't
that's
say,
not.
oh, I'm Lithuanian or I'm a lesbian
exactly.
or whatever. I don't like to even talk about it. Let's say just explain.
I don't say I'm Italian even on stage.
You
I'm just
saying,
but going in there like
we
from
we fucking get it.
But,
I'm not trying to like say the wrong thing.
I'm not saying I just had a slice of pizza.
But like I'm Ethiopian. Like nah.
Exactly. Yeah. From the Caribbean. You know.
So what you guys break down the New York scene. So what is the New York scene? If I were to come here to do comedy, what do I need to do here in New York? If I want to come tour,
you just got to you got to be down here. Well, see, my thing is I try to get down here as much as I can.
What is your goal? What's your goal?
Yeah.
Just to grow. Just to go in rooms, bounce around, and grow.
If you're doing that, then
you're doing what you should.
Mike,
if you're trying to go, you need to get on stage.
Typically come out once a week. Yeah. Long Island, the scene's been growing pretty well. Like you could do three mics on a Monday, 3 mics on a Tuesday, That's 2 mics on a Wednesday. I think we have about 2 now on a Thursday. Like it's going.
Yeah.
So any more than 3, and then you're like you want to quit.
It's pretty crazy though. Like
3 mics is hard to do. If you have a show, that's different. But
what do you mean? 3
mics? 3, 4 in a day.
I do that once a week. I come out here. I do 3 or 4. So you do have an hour and a half for the show.
Have a seat. Right
so when you're doing 3 mics, how is
that? Don't cross the stream.
What is the benefit of that? Like 3 mics in a row.
Reps. You do the same, and like when I do it. I do the same. But I had a big contest over the summer that I was doing, and the previous 2 years, I didn't make past the first round.
Yeah.
Like a month before that contest, I started coming out to the city once a week, and I was a finalist in that round this year. So like it's like you can't beat the amount of times. And by the time one night I did 5 mics in a night, and by that 5th mic, I was like, I got this. You just run that set. And you're just like it just feels so.
If you're reinforcing positive, yes.
Yeah.
See, the only reason why I say 3 for me is my limit is because I self-analyze everything. Like every set, I'll listen to the set today, and I'll listen to it 4 times before I go to the next one. And then by the time I hear, well, not 4 times, but I'll break it down. I'll pause it and I'll listen to like the line by line.
But I do agree, you should take it.
Absolutely.
I do everything.
But I think everybody's different. I think if getting the performance out is there, or getting the writing out is there, your aspects could be different.
Either one.
You don't want to reinforce. You don't want to reinforce negative, but you just want to reinforce the positive. Yeah.
Well, I listen back to each one and the differentiate. Like sometimes you might throw some upward inflection on one word, and you're like, "Why'd I do that? That sounds weird."
Yeah.
And then I was like, "But I didn't do it in this set when I did it the same way."
Yeah.
So it's just. But like you said,
and you may get a reaction. You may get a better reaction. And I get that.
I'll do the same set, but I'll make minor tweaks.
I know that for 2 shows, but worse. You know what I'm saying? I pick up on it. Okay, now on the next thing.
Gotcha.
I don't just like. I go, all right, well, and you have a show. I do a lot of shows, too. I don't just do mics.
Yeah.
I love doing shows.
Do it again.
I do a lot of shows because I like it better because there's people, and they like people are better. They want to come see comedy. Even if they don't want to do comedy, they want to see comedy, you make them want comedy.
Yeah.
You make them go, you maybe want to stay.
It's like working out in the gym, you know?
And because the energy, I believe in bringing energy. Certain things, I improv a lot through my act. I improv.
Gym.
I get out of the comfort zone and I improv out. I do some things on the spot.
Well, that's good.
Things I can think of.
That's what mics are for. You should try. Yeah. You should try things. Right? You should try something different every time. You should try. You should variations.
Yeah, it's good to.
You should act. Yeah. You should do it different.
Oh yeah.
Your body language could be different, and it could just sell it a little better.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I want to try to hit this real quick. You used to have a podcast.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
What was the name of it?
It was actually a radio. It was a streaming online radio, and we podcasted as well.
Okay.
It was called the Rock and Comedy Show.
Nice.
Vegas. The guy that's been doing it's still out there. I was like partnered up with him for the 3 years I lived there. Radio Vegas.rocks. He runs a station out of his house. He built a whole studio, and we've interviewed Sinbad in studio. We've interviewed Jackie the Joke Man, Bobby Slayton. All the headliners from the Laugh Factory that come out from LA that are out there. So I was able to network with a lot.
How long ago was this?
This was only a couple years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, Jerry Bednob from he's a good friend of mine. I love that dude.
Did you have a podcast? Did you do?
You did.
Tom, you have
me? Do I have a podcast? No, I'm thinking about doing one, but I don't know.
Fucking do it.
My concept for a podcast is kind of weird though, but I don't want to give it away because I don't want anyone to steal it.
Oh,
keep
wow.
Keep it. It's weirder the
It's
better.
a secret sauce, man.
Eventually, when I started.
No, good.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I was making sure. I interrupt people. I interject no problem, but I'm trying to be more polite. I usually don't give a fuck. I'll be like,
fuck polite.
No.
Fuck polite.
But okay, so I know. I'm from the Midwest.
Yeah, welcome back to New York. You just get in. No signals. Just
I'm a
get in there.
Lithuanian Midwesterner. I'm supposed to be kind.
No. You're supposed to own it.
I'm talking here.
I don't really care. I don't even think of myself even as a woman. I forget that I'm a woman until men are staring at me. Like, I forgot.
Yeah.
You still got it. Depends on the stare.
I almost forgot.
I'm old. I think, okay, I'm never again. So podcast.
Oh, shut up. Shut old.
I'm older.
Older. I'll take that.
Not old, yeah.
Better.
I feel like I'm getting there. Anyway.
Yeah.
Whatever.
We all are.
How old are you?
We all are. So I am 43.
Yeah, you're older than me.
I'll be 44.
You're a year older than me.
Yeah, look at that.
42.
I've been doing comedy for 6 years.
That's awesome.
So I had I'm loving it now, finally.
Good.
Not like all in my head.
Experience,
let's have fun.
Yeah.
So anyway, I had a podcast. I had a show I was running on Mondays. This little dive bar in West Chicago. It's you can't fill a room there. There's like 10 people in this town.
Yeah.
That ever comes out. They're all the same drunks. So I would be the comedian that would get those guys like to laugh or whatever, these people that didn't want me there. But anyway, I had a podcast there, so I would do like a show. And I have a podcast before. I have like an open mic, then I do a podcast in the middle, and then a show case. That was a lot of work. That was like 4 hours of my time every Monday. I like it. So the podcast I have it on my Facebook page. And basically it was just like I was just interviewing people with the microphones and passing because I didn't have equipment or anything like that. It was just me getting an idea of how I feel about interviewing people, taking charge, getting things facilitated. So I'm an Uber driver, so I do that anyway. I pull people from nothing to tell me their life story. So I do kind of want to do a podcast, but a real one. So I decided to just do it. I don't know what I would do. Not like yours. I mean, I just want to have just a chat with people.
Yeah,
like
your perspective was just breaking the ice and getting the conversation going, which is key with everything.
I love that.
This guy that I worked with out in Vegas, he knew all these people ahead of time. But I met him through doing open mics. He ran a mic just like this. First time out, and next thing you know, I'm on a podcast. And then next you're a guest. Next thing you know, you're guesting again. Next thing you know, he's like, "Hey man, you want to guest host when you visit?"
Absolutely.
And then I moved, and he goes, "Before I moved, he's like, you could be a permanent host if you wanted to." So it's just but you meet people, and you never know who you're going to meet. Like I ended up picking up and dropping off like Stuttering John from the Howard Stern show, and I'm a huge Stern fan. So and this is the old Stern from like the E channel, and I got a 30-minute drive with this guy. And I'm just like, this is awesome. Because like I remember watching him in college. The red
he's got to talk to me.
I'm like, where you going? Where you going?
It's
It's like being an Uber driver, picking up a bunch of hot chicks. I did that too for a little while. Oh, we're going to the Bellagio. No, you're not. You're going to my house. No. No. That was in my head. That was in my head. No, I didn't do that.
Really, a man thinks in a woman. I'm an Uber driver. I'll never think I'm picking up hot people. I'm thinking.
Oh, when you're a single overweight comedian and you're picking up 4 chicks coming out of a club and they want to go to the Bellagio. Yeah, and they're all in their best and they're just partying their asses off. Yeah, it's a little different.
So it's a lot different. It's not gonna.
It's like they came up to me and they were like, "We know we're only supposed to have 4 in your car, but can we get 5 or 6? 5 or 6 of
right here."
And the 2 other ones are big.
One of you's got to sit them up.
No. I was like, I didn't get gas. I'm sorry. You got to get another car.
Fuck. Where can I find you?
Me?
Yeah.
Me? TomDeCillisComedy.com.
Nice.
Got a website. Tom DeCillis. I do have a website. Got a website. I actually have a friend. She's digital and works with digital marketing. She's going to help me polish it up because it's. It's there, but so she's gonna help me polish it up.
The hard part's done.
T. DeCillis Comedy, Twitter. I got a big show coming up April 5th.
Yeah, you do.
Bolton Center, 300-seat theater in Bayshore. I'll give you the list right here.
Yeah.
We got Mike Calcagno's hosting. You got me on it. We got Tangi Brown, Kieran McGovern, Travis Grant, Rich Grillo, Tim Thompson, Mike Keegan, Chris Barnes, and Matt Aravallo.
Progress.
Progress.
Got one black girl on there. Progress.
One black girl and a Spanish guy. I offered it to another female comedian. She could not do the show. So,
okay.
There's not a lot of ethnic groups out in Long Island. Okay.
I'm fucking surprised.
Yeah. Working on it. Okay. Mike Calcagno, he's at least like 50% Neanderthal. So.
Remind me at DanetteMark.com.
Website.
And I got my .com, so that's good. You got to make sure you get your .com.
Boom. Why? Tell them why you should get your .com.
Because someone else will get it all to sell it. To buy it back from them later, it costs you $1 million fucking dollars.
Yeah. So but why as comedians should they have websites?
So believe in yourself. Not believe in yourself and get your .com. No, I need this.
Because a lot of comments that come in, I'm like, you should get your website, and because you're a business, you may not think you are, but that's your sign. And I say, get your fucking website and start building yourself.
At least get the domain. At least get your domain.
At least you get your domain. You may not feel confident enough. Like, I'm not funny enough, but get it now and start. Just keep adding little things to it.
Then I got more. I got them.
I know you do.
Well, I'm doing this Facebook page. Okay, it's called Danette Mark's Out of the Box.
That's what
comedy exploration page because I want to go crazy on that shit. I'm a really bold person. I want shit to be real fun. So I'm just doing crazy shit on there. And then I'm going to marry this other page, it was inspirational page, into that. So I'll have like 13,000 followers on that. So then I got Instagram, and I'm new to Instagram, so I get all the DMs from the guys. Yeah. Oh, you're hot. They smile. Look the fuck up. Just look at the pictures and shut up. Yeah. Right?
Like and then follow me.
Yeah, just shut the fuck up. I'm not going to date you. Yeah. Once you look up my act, clip on, look, I'm a lesbian. Go see it.
I love dating apps, but I've never picked up anyone.
I'm technically bi, but the whole thing in part
that doesn't mean anything to most men anyway.
No, it doesn't matter. Because
they'll be like, I'll turn you back. I'll get you back.
No, see, you guys are right. I don't know. I'm so upset that I don't know men. I'm starting to learn now from all the comedian men I'm hanging out with. Like, tonight, don't you know? We don't give a fuck. I'm like, okay, you don't give a fuck. Then I'm also, one more thing. That's it.
Do it. You Facebook, Twitter?
Oh, then I'm on.
Are you on Twitter?
That's it, man. That's it. I'm on Twitter, Facebook. I'm not killing Twitter. I don't do Twitter. I don't know how to do Twitter.
You just write.
Is that dumb?
You just write. Toss a joke up. You know what I like doing? My favorite thing is Twitter and now Google Maps. I'll tell you what, Twitter I like doing. I like going to companies that I buy stuff from and then saying some shit, talk shit about them, and then like 50 people will fucking follow you because they're following them. And then Google Maps, what I'll do if I have like a bad experience somewhere, I'll write a review, and then other people read the review, and then restaurants will send me shit by accident, or like Wendy's send me.
Well, they do that. If you have a bad experience, they send you a gift card.
It's
happened to Olive Garden. They send me a gift card. I was like, no, I don't want to go back to your shitty restaurant.
Because they asked me, like, what's your review of this place? And if it's a bad, it's like, oh, let me tell you.
Yeah.
And then, I love Google Maps. Yeah. And then you can put a picture up, you can put a thumbs, and then people like read that shit and be like, yo, that shit was funny, or that shit was.
I like
people actually get reviewed, like thousands of reviews on. I'm big on Google Maps.
Twitter's good for if you like
Maps,
Google. Like
Twitter's good.
Weirdly, it's fun. It's fun to do.
Weirdly,
yeah, I get a lot of my. I'm just like, yeah, fuck this place. I wrote something about this Chinese restaurant around my house because the mom is the mom is always yelling at the daughter. And it's just like the mom and daughter, they're like, I love you. But it's like, it's weird. It was like, I love the heat of hot mom breath over my food. And I wrote that. And she was like, did you write this? I was like, she's spitting my food now.
Yeah.
But they love it.
Is that a joke?
Yeah, they are. She's like, what these kids?
You really like that.
Yeah, they know.
But the hot mom breath?
Every Friday, I love hot mom breath.
But Twitter's good if you want to try out like a one-liner joke. That's how I build a lot of my bits. If I'll throw the one-liner out there. If it gets a few likes, then I work off.
Like some people are really good at that. I'm not good at the job.
I'm getting better. I got a few good ones. Couple likes, couple retweets.
I'll throw the podcast on.
It's tough though.
Were you done?
I just want to ask one more question before I shut the hell up. I want to know, for a podcast, do you have to have someone do it with you? Or can you do solo?
You can do whatever
you want. It can be anything you want.
You do whatever you want. I'm good. Go.
If you want to have like a long format podcast, you want to have other people in the room. Yeah. Like you don't want to get too drawn out and dragged out and everything. Plus, if you can break it up a little bit, you can have we weren't all comedians. Like the host is not a comedian; he's just a radio guy. Yeah. But he's funny, but he likes to throw his little quips in. But then we'll have another guy that happens to be like a singer songwriter. But you need people with personalities that can translate.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah. Bobby
I'm gonna
Massey.
have you back. Remember that. We'll talk about it again.
I do have a website, but it's not current. It still says I live in Vegas.
Yeah,
I've
you
been
got
gone
a
for 2 years. BobbyMassey.com. I run a show upstate, Gutter Balls Comedy open mic on Saturday nights. I'm going to be opening May 10th, May 11th for Gilbert Godfrey at Laugh Poughkeepsie. Also going to be doing a guest spot this Sunday night at West Side Comedy Club.
Yes.
Nice.
Good.
Cool.
Thank you.
Right.
Appreciate
Yeah,
you guys.
thank you.
Give it up for them one more time. Yeah, it's another episode of the People's Mic. I'm Jimmy Peoples. I get a hug on camera. Right?
Hey, you got a hug.
Jimmy, you can find it on iHeartRadio, Spotify, JimPeoples.com. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, J Peoples TV. We're here every Monday to Friday at 2:15 at the world famous Idol Shrunkenhead. The podcast is open to comics, so if you want to just do the podcast, just tell me a day in advance. Tell me you're coming. Come grab a seat. I just throw bodies at the screen. All right. Followed by the People's Mic. Open mic every Monday to Friday, and we're going to get it started. Thank you. Give it up for them one more time.